This video will be my last comparison of the new Audeze Maxwell gaming headset. If I'm getting bored about talking to them, I'm sure you guys are getting bored of watching them, right? But I'm definitely not getting bored using them. And as far as our last comparison, it'll be the VZR Model 1s compared to, again, the Maxwells. Now, I know what you think. You're like, this isn't really a fair comparison. You're comparing a wired headset to a wireless headset? What the heck? Well, hear me out here for a second. The thing that I think is really cool about this, well, number one, many of you guys have requested it, so I want to deliver that information for you guys. But serious side note right here, I have spoken with both of the founders of these companies right here. And the thing I love is both of them are so passionate about sound, audio and stuff, and just a passion they put into their products. I stinking love it. And the cool thing is none of them, like when I talk to them, it's not like, oh, numbers this, numbers that, yada, yada, yada. It's just straight up passion of passion, sound to sound. And what are we getting out of the product? What is it delivering? Is it delivering that value for, again, both of these being fairly priced? That's what's really cool right here. Again, being able to relate with even the founders, not just a PR rep or something, you know, that's really cool. And I love to see that. And again, talking with them on a level field here, not some audiophile mumbo jumbo. All right, so let's go on and get into the comparison here. And you know, we have to start with the comfort. And just looking at them right like this, you can see both of them have that full swivel. Bam, all the way flat, a little bit forward right there. Now, when we come over to the VZR1, you can see you got complete swivel all the way around. So the benefit of that is it's going to fit any head shape even more. Say if you got more hair or something, it's going to, again, pinch out this way, come out that way, fit any head shape. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to get that over here with the Maxwells. You're going to get that as well because, again, you got that full flat, all the way forward, even a little kick forward. And on top of that, you can see the ear pads are angled a little bit bigger here, and then they go down a little bit shorter there. So again, you're not gonna have any issues with, fitment on either of these, but really cool that you got that complete swivel, so you're never gonna have any pressure points anywhere on these. Now, let's go on and flip our ear cushions around to this side, and let's go on and get some measurements and see if they're different. All right, so here we go. Hopefully you can see the measurements on the camera there. Get it to the tip, VZR. Pretty much a complete circle here. Let's go over here to the Maxwells. You can see a little more of that traditional oval. Bam, going this way. Now, as far as depth, look at these guys. They are deep. Hopefully you can catch it there. Same all the way around. On the Maxwells, again, a little bit more shallow in the front, and then a little bit deeper in the back. Again, that is with that angle of the ear cushion, as you can see right here. They are very plush. Both of them, I would say they almost feel quite identical. I'd say the VZR ones are a little bit softer right there. You know, man, they're both incredibly plush. I'd hate to say one over the other. Now, the biggest difference, as you've probably noticed over here on the Maxwell, fully pleather. Top, outside, and inside. That's going to help with locking in that sound, but it's also going to help with locking in that heat. You are going to get some sweaty ears with this bad boy. Coming over here to the Model 1, as you see, you got the perforated holes right here. Perforated holes on the back. Now, I know they stated that it helps out with sound, and that's something within to that there, but again, that's also going to help out with the breathability and just let some air kind of breathe through. But both of them are pleather. They both are spicy ear pads, but again, they both are incredibly big, incredibly plush. I don't think they're going to be hurting you at all, and your ears are not going to be touching the drivers or getting pinched anywhere on either of these headsets. Now, let's go and talk about these headbands, and I really love it on both of these here. On the Maxwells, you got that leather band, and it just pretty much really just stays there, right? It attaches with those little screws on the inside. If you can catch right there, bam, you can pop it off and pop it in. And that's where it's gonna stay. It doesn't adjust, it doesn't flex. You don't got any movement in the ear cups or anything. It's just within there, kind of like as you've seen in SteelSeries, but again, you don't have any hinge movement. So the good thing about that is, well, it's not gonna move on you. Once you get that perfect setting, which could be minimal for some because you only got 3 notches, right? But I think it's going to fit many head shapes right there. But the great thing is it's not going to move on you. You're not going to have to worry about those micro adjustments down the road as you take on and put off the headset right there. Take on and put off. Put on and take off the headset. Coming over here to the VZR1, you got that kind of traditional, like we see, you got that flexible headband right here. It kind of stretches out and it conforms right to your head shape. Now, I've used this headset quite a bit and it still hasn't loosened up to me. It's still holding a nice firm grip right there. It's not firm like it's going to hurt your head by any means, but again, it stays right in that position. Again, no traditional movement on the ear cup, on the hinge there. It's just within the headband, and you're seeing this little gap in the middle. Why they do that is that alleviates that pressure right in the middle of your head, so it's not all just sitting right there. Kind of sits on the side and just disperses that weight perfectly around for you. And talking about weight, let's go ahead and check the difference here. Getting a Maxwell on the scale, we are going to get 488 grams. And then if we're going to put the VZR ones on, I'm going to leave the cables attached too because, well, you're going to need them on there, right? We are getting 448 grams. Now, as you look at that weight right there, it's minimal. They both are on the heavier end of gaming headsets, right? But you can tell that the VZR 1 is slightly lighter weight than the Maxwell over here. But again, that's minimal, guys. They are both, again, loftier headsets. But when we compile everything we talked about as far as comfort there, putting the VZR 1s on, whew, these things are so cozy. Again, even with that weight, you don't feel it. The weight is distributed perfectly there. The ear pads are so incredibly soft. Guys, these things are so stinking cozy. They really are. It's like a memory foam pillow when you put it on, right? Coming over here to the Maxwells, putting these on, you know, going 1-to-1, you can feel the weight difference, but I think that's really just because the headband up here. You don't got any pad. It's really just that leather thing. So it's big, and again, you got plenty of disbursement for the weight, so it's not just pressing down on you. Ear pads super comfortable. Again, I still think these are stinking cozy. They do get stinking hot, but if I had to pick one, again, going 1-to-1 right here, yes, the VZR Model 1 are going to take the win as far as comfort, but again, the Maxwells are still fantastic in the comfort department as well. Now let's go and talk about the build of both of these headsets right here. And kicking it off with the headband, as you see, they both are metal reinforced. The VZR 1, you kind of got that free floating headband up here, and then it goes into this deal here. Nice and metal, and again, it's minimal. It helps out with that lightweight. Coming over here with the Maxwell, you got the metal reinforced headband. By the way, down here, a little bit of cushion in case your head does go up there, which I don't think you'll have that issue, but again, kind of prevents any of that hard hitting right onto the metal there. Now, as we go from headband into our arm right here, which is going to deal with our adjustment, VZR Model 1, it is all metal right there. Coming over here to the Maxwell, it's plastic. So again, we're going metal, plastic. Then we come down to our forks, VZR Model 1, metal, that bracket down here, and then our forks are metal. Coming over here on the Maxwell, they are metal as well. So metal, plastic, metal, 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 metal. So looking at both of the headsets, they both have fantastic build, but yes, the Audeze does have that plastic bit right there, which I've stated in all of my coverage so far. It doesn't really make me that worried because the headband stops us from stretching out or doing anything real crazy with it. I twist it up, I really don't get worried. But again, at the end of the day, on a higher end headset, that is still a key point, and it is plastic. That's where all your swivel's coming from. Again, that's where your core stress is coming from. Luckily, the headband's stopping you. So again, it doesn't really make me worry, but it makes me think like, could something happen to this, right? Coming over here to the Model 1 being completely metal all the way around. And again, looking at that weight that we talked about, the metal on this is saying thinner might sound bad to some of these, right? But again, it's not as bulky as on the Maxwells right there. And again, you go metal, metal, metal. And again, this thing is just, you got all the movement, all the pivot points in it. I don't get worried about this one bit. So all in all, I got to give the win yet again to the VZR Model 1. Not saying the Maxwells are built cheap by any means. They're built amazing, but we got to get a winner here. And the VZR Model 1 takes it again. Quick side note I want to cover on both of these headsets right here for you guys. As we're talking about, again, these being higher end headsets and then again, really key components on them, the great thing about them is all the points. Take a look at the Model 1, Phillips screwdriver. Down here, Phillips screwdriver. Up here, you got hex and hex underneath the headband. And I remember speaking with him, everything will be replaceable on this. And again, being able to adjust or replace them and repair them that easily is a really nice peace of mind. Over here on the Maxwell, same deal. Right down here on your forks, you got a little small Allen wrench right down there. Really nice to be able to replace that. As far as whenever you get into that bracket that I told you I was worried about, again, that's when you have to start popping stuff off, and that is the one issue right there. So again, really cool how easy the VZR 1 is to, again, get those repairs done. And you can do some on the Maxwells, but again, that plastic piece I feel is holding us back just a little bit. Now, this part of the comparison is not fair for a vote. I'm going to cover it, but again, we can't vote one or the other. That's talking features and functions. Again, we're talking about a wireless headset compared to a wired headset, right? So y'all are quite aware with the Maxwells, they are packing a punch. You got your Bluetooth, you got your wireless, you can run 3.5, you run a USB-C, not simultaneous. USB-C and Bluetooth can be simultaneous, but as far as wired and Bluetooth right there, you got multi-functions. Like every button on this headset is a multi-function as far as side tone or your EQs or stuff like that. You got your mic mute up here, you got your Bluetooth, you got a detachable microphone with included windscreen, which we're going to do here in a second. Again, it can be used on PlayStation and then PC, your Mac, your Switch, so on and so forth. Again, it's a wireless headset packing tons of features. Hence the reason we love wireless headsets, right? Is the features and functions and the usability of it. Coming over here to the VZR1, well, it's a wired headset. You got 3.5. You do have an inline mic as well as your detachable mic, which again, we're going to do the mic test here shortly. But again, at the core of it, it's a 3.5 pair of headphones or headset if you want to look at it right there. It's not a fair comparison, but heck with them both being right around the same price, I feel like it's still something we got to look at. And if we're picking a winner, it's a no-brainer, guys. The Maxwell's going to take the cake as far as features and functions. But anyways, let's go and get a little bit more of a fair comparison. Let's test these microphones. So let's kick it off with the VZR Model 1 mic test, and that is exactly what you're hearing right now. It has the included windscreen right here, detachable microphone. And when I do my mic test, guys, I straight plug in, record, put it in the Final Cut Pro, bam, and that's what you're hearing. No adjusting, no tweaking, no software adjustments whatsoever. This is the core microphone. If you have something else that can make it sound better, that's what you have. But we got to look at that core sound at first. And I listened to the VZR Model 1 before I actually did this right here, and I don't know what it was, but I had a slight buzz in the background. The AC is not on. My fan my light over here does have a fan in it, but it's not that kind of buzz. It's just a little in the background right there, so I'm not too sure what that is. We'll see if it picks it up in this one as well, but again, I wasn't too aware. As far as sound suppression or whatever, I don't have any sound dampening in my room. I got minimal. I got a little bit of foam here, but nothing up top, nothing in the creases or anything like that. So let's see what we get. We get over there, say we bang on a table, maybe some footsteps. That's what it's going to sound like right there. So the other cool thing about the VZR Model 1 is you don't have to use this microphone. There's actually a built-in microphone right in line right here, which I'm going to detach this right now. Take it off. Now you're hearing that microphone right there. Now the unfortunate thing about that is, well, looking at this microphone, which you might not be able to see, it's actually leaning towards me, which my voice is probably really low. So again, right there. So you might want to pull it up and have some sort of clip. I don't know. Then you can probably hear me a little bit better. Of course, it's not as good as the detachable microphone, but cool to have that feature, because if you're out and about, you don't want this big goofy microphone like, walking around and having this goofy thing just hanging off you. So really cool to have that feature built in line right there. And then again, your mute switch, you do have right on it as well. And now you're hearing the microphone from the Audeze Maxwell here. Now you all know this has a noise suppression with the button. You got the low and the high. Go watch my standalone review if you want to watch that. I don't like it. Yeah, it does reduce some of the noise in the background if you got music and stuff, but it cranks up the volume of the microphone and it makes it sound not as true and pure. The microphone doesn't sound as good, but yeah, it reduces the background of the noise. So I guess if you got a noisy environment, that'll be good, but just realize it is going to drop the quality of the microphone because it's just really picking up more right there. Go watch a standalone review and you'll see that right there. But we're going to test microphone to microphone, and I love this Audeze Maxwell microphone. It just sounds really good, very broadcast-like, you know what I mean? By the way, I did listen to the VZR microphone as well before I jumped in this one, and I still got that slight humming in the background. Really, really strange to be getting it. That's with 2 tests, so I'm not too sure what that's going on. Are we going to get the hum with this? I don't know. But again, this is the Maxwell microphone. Again, included windscreen. Cool thing about this, I'm going to detach this as well. Okay, so our detachable microphone is off. You got those built-in microphones here as well. And again, you can use that noise suppression on these, which is going to block out some of that sound. But really neat to be able to have the multi-function microphone on both of them, especially with the Maxwells, because you just got to, you got Bluetooth, bang, walking around. No one's going to judge that this is a gaming headset. Looks like a good quality pair of headphones. Let me go and get one noise suppression here. Noise suppression is now on low, and just so you can see, it's cranking up that volume of that microphone, sound a little bit more phone call-ish, but again, it is going to reduce some of that sound in the background right there. So kind of a pro or con right there as far as the noise suppression. So very interesting here. Just for the sake of the test, I went and did another VZR Model 1 microphone test and just double-checked the stuff in my room, made sure my connections were nice and tight to see if I was still going to get that hum. And I did. It's really weird. Now, I don't know in my standalone review if I got that hum. You all know when I do comparisons, I do not go back to my old reviews at all because some of them may be, 6 months or a year ago. I don't want to revert back to that. I want to revert on what games and what's my preferred style right now and just really a fresh take at every review. So don't say, oh, hey, it sounded great here and now it doesn't sound here. I'm going to go at that core. What are we getting now? You know what I mean? And it's a real bummer that that microphone is happening there. I'm not too sure if you got the VZR Model 1s. Let me know if yours is doing that as well. But I think even if that hum wasn't on the VZR Model 1s, the Maxwell would still take the cake as far as that microphone. This microphone is, whew, I stinking love it. And again, it's cool that you can take it off and have the built-in ones there. The noise suppression, it's cool, but it's not something that I honestly like because it ruins that great microphone. That core microphone on this is phenomenal. And the Maxwells are going to take this win. Now let's get into probably the most juiciest topic within both of these gaming headsets from audiophile-minded companies here. Yeah, and that's even coming from old stinking cozy Techne, which I think this is seriously one of the juiciest topics of these. That is talking about sound right here. And believe it or not, these are very different, but packing a punch in their own, perspective right there. Let me go and start with the VZR Model 1, right? Because I've talked about the Maxwell so much. I stated it in my core review of these guys. This headset is bass heavy fair. I'm going to say it's full of bass. It's not like Beats bass for any mean. It's definitely an immersive, really head full. You got mids, you got bass right there. But the cool thing, it's really separating the highs as well. It's not like, okay, you got all this bass and, the trebles are just trying to get up here. It's not that case by any means. Everything's still happening, but no matter what you do, there is always more bassness. Even me, I'm plugging this into the i5 Zen stack right there. Even if I put on like the 3D boosters, boosts up the treble a little bit, still more bass right here. So where that comes into play, again, I stated this so many times, right? It's just like my shape and stuff like that, right? It really depends on which game you're playing. I've stated over and over, always have 2 headsets or 2 headphones on your desk. One geared more towards bass, one geared more towards highs or something, same with like a big mouse and a small mouse, okay? And that's what you got here. So talking about gaming with this is like Halo Infinite. You got those footsteps coming around the corner. You are going to hear them. Holy smokes, are you going to hear them? Talking about Halo over here on the VZR Model 1s. Now let's talk about me actually playing Warzone, since we're on the topic of footsteps, okay? Again, more bass. Keep that in mind here. I'm dropping in. It's sounding good. It's immersive and everything. But when I get down there, I heard an enemy in the other building, but I could not pinpoint where they were. Even when I went into the building, I just kind of heard it. What sounding, this is dramatic, okay? So understand I'm putting in dramatics here, but like a thunderstorm outside, right? You hear it, but you don't know, oh, was that in front or was that in the back? That's kind of the vibe I got here. Like I heard the footsteps, but I couldn't say, where is it? You know what I mean? Unlike in Halo, where the footsteps are geared a lot more towards the base, you can truly decipher where they are. And there's not all sorts of chaos going on in Halo like there is in Warzone or something. So, very different there as far as games. Now, let's go ahead and talk about me playing Destiny. Whew. This was awesome. It's full, it's impactful, it's immersive, you're into it. The sounds of the Cabal, like we're holy smokes. If you play Destiny, you know what I'm talking about. It's just an earful and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And that was super cool. Talking about a racing game, pretty cool because I still got turbo spooled and it was bass. The tires screeching around the corner was not overbearing, was not ear screeching by any means, but I still got that turbo spool, that little bit of blow off when it was shifting. It was really awesome. I was like, that's one thing that threw me off on this headset. Because I'm like, okay, this headset's bass heavy. How am I still getting this separation here and that turbo? I'm really getting that turbo really nicely on this, That was super cool. So now they got their, man, I forget what they're called. Son of a gun. You all know I don't script, but I forget what they're called. They got the little, let me see if I can pull this off. And you see they got the little dots and the triangles and everything. That's to let the amount breathe through right there. And where is it delivering into your ear? So it's not just coming off, bouncing off your ear and then coming out. So it's really cool. I think it says it right here. Patent, son of a gun. It doesn't say what it is. I forget what they call them. Anyways, that does mean something right there. And that helps with some of that, where that sound is being directed at you and how much of it. And again, it is a bass. It is a fuller headset, more immersive headset. But again, it was something special there. Okay, keep that in mind. Now let's go and swing over here to the Maxwells, okay? Again, wireless headset, but holy smokes, this headset sounds amazing for a wireless headset. It hurts me saying this is a gaming headset, because I know a lot of people out there that just brainwashed, oh, gaming headset, it's going to be Razer, Turtle Beach, or something like that. It's going to be overfilled with muddy sound. This is darn near close to a pair of Audeze wired audiophile headphones. LCDs over here, right? You really get that kind of vibe over here. And it really shocks me because the sound is so clear, it's so clean, it's so natural. Nothing's overdone. You can adjust your EQ. As I stated in my videos, I like keeping it on treble boost. It's just such a smack in the face sound, which is what I loved about the Penrose, right? The Penrose were so exciting. It's like, I could never describe them properly because it's something I told people you got to try. Putting this in treble mode kind of gave me that same vibe. Not as drastic as a Penrose, you know, so it's definitely toned down a little bit, hence the reason why you're getting that headphone type of sound. But you got bass boost, immersive, yada, yada, yada. Me personally, I did dabble with bass boost a little bit, but I pretty much always kept it on treble or the Audeze sound. Now let me talk about the same games I talked about there. In Halo, I heard the footsteps not near as detailed as I got on the VZR 1, because again, they're geared more towards the bass. I heard them, I can hear them just fine, but it's not in your face like the VZR 1, okay? Where I want to switch that around as far as in your face, if you watch my standalone video, is in Warzone. And I tested this again when I was doing this comparison, because I was like, all right, that's just a fluke, right? We can all have one good round, right? Whatever. So I said, no, let's do this again. And because I don't like BR games. I don't like Battle Royale games. I just don't, you know? So I try to stay away from this. But anyways, I jumped in again, and the same thing happened. I jumped in, bam, got this guy upstairs, got this guy across the road, got the guy again across the road in the other house where I started at, and it was just like, man, it was so cool. I could tell. I got up in his tower. This is a different situation, right? I'm not in the house anymore. I'm up on his tower. I forget what it was. And this guy, I see him up there. He's got little mines. It goes up and whatever, you know, I take a lot of health loss right there. I hear him. He's coming around this way. So I go this way. Wait, I hear him stop, and he goes around the other way. I stop that way. And I hear him stop. I said, okay, let me get a couple pieces of armor in me. I'm getting chills just thinking about this, guys. It was so cool. And then I hear him going again. What do? I butt him. I'm not the person that's going to run away, right? I come around, butt him, bam, 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 and he's done. It was so, man, just thinking about it is so cool. And that's the vibe I always got with this, playing like Warzone. I want to play Warzone. I was talking with a subscriber the other day, and I was like, man, we got to run some Warzone, right? And again, I don't like BR games. Right? This made me have fun with them. You know, there's so many stinking campers in there. You're going to get the campers with this. You know what I mean? It's really cool. Talking about a racing game. Okay, let me get off that subject. Talking about racing game. Me keeping it in treble boost mode, it was geared a lot more towards the highs. The tires were screeching a lot more. The wind sound, the car noise sound was a little bit more. I used the interior sound right there. And believe it or not, compared to the VZR Model 1, my turbo sound was toned down here a little bit. You might think that's kind of weird because the turbo sound, the spool, the blow off, everything's geared on highs. It's focused on highs. You'd get it more over here. Well, no, I actually got it more over here, and it sounded more true, like when I'm out riding my WRX and I hear just a little bit, right? It sounded just like I was sitting in a car over here. Over here, it sounded, you know, no matter which one I cycled it through, it did not sound as good as a VZR 1, even though it did sound good. Don't think I'm saying it sounded bad. It just sounded better over here. Let's go into Destiny, okay? I still had a great time with Destiny in this, even though Destiny is more of that immersive game. You really want it to be in your face. This is kind of full. This is more like really chaotic or just exciting, right? I don't know how to put it, right? You got the gunshots going on, you got the enemies, you know. Now the Cabal was not as deep as in your face and stuff like that. That kind of, it's almost like you wanted both of them. So put this in base mode, you can get that a little bit. You're not gonna get it as much as this, but you'll still be able to get it a little bit. And it's still gonna be in your face right there, which was really exciting. That's the cool thing about wireless headsets. Again, you got all the features and functions to dabble around with other sounds. So after my excessive ramble about sound on both of these, again, guys, I wanted to give you that true user's experience, that real gamer, and let you kind of feel what I was feeling. Hopefully I was able to relate that to you guys, you know, but at the core of it, no joke whatsoever, the sound of these are very different, right? Number one, they're using different drivers, different frequency ranges, but how they're delivered is completely different. They are both amazing in their own ways. So if I was to give a win right here, I can't give them a win in the sound. Again, they're too different. You know what I mean? It would not be fair at all. It's almost like the wired versus wireless comparison. You know what I mean? You just can't. It depends on what you want. And like I've always stated in so many of my videos, is you need two different kinds of headsets or headphones on your desk. And that is what I got right here. I want this over here and I want that over there. And that's what I got. Wow. That was seriously a hard comparison, guys. Like, even when I was testing them and then, you know, coming over here talking to them, again, y'all know I don't script, so just talking it over. Hopefully you guys can catch my vibe and really understand the passion I have with both of these and delivering that to you guys as, again, consumer and gamer to gamer right there. No fluffy talk, you know? That was really hard. But at the end of the day, it's a comparison. We got to pick a winner. I love both of them, right? Let me just put that out there. And again, not fluffy talk. I really love both of them. But I got to pick a winner. The VZR Model 1s are coming in at $350. Okay? The Audeze Maxwell is coming in at $300. That might have just solved it right there, right? For a lot of us gamers, right? You're looking at a wireless headset packed with these features and functions, solid built-in comfort, $50 cheaper? I'm with you. I would go the Audeze Maxwell. So there we go, my last comparison of the Audeze Maxwell gaming headsets. Oh my gosh, I am so happy because I'm getting a little bit bored of talking about this headset, to be honest with you. Now, if y'all have some other questions about other comparisons, let me know down in the comments, but I will wrap up a few right here for you. Let's say if you're looking at the Audeze Maxwell versus the Corsair Virtuosos or the Virtuoso XTs, Audeze Maxwell taking a win. Let's say you're looking at the Audeze Maxwell versus the Razer Blackshark V2 Pros, Audeze Maxwell taking the win. Say you're looking at the Audeze Maxwell versus the Turtle Beach Stealth 700, whatever they are, Audeze Maxwell is taking the win. And honestly, no fluff, no baloney, no nothing, because heck, I don't even have an affiliate link for the Audeze headphones yet. This is just one of the best headsets I have tested in a long time, top to bottom. So thank you so much for stopping by and watching this comparison of the Audeze Maxwell versus the VZR Model 1s. Thank you so much for watching all my other Maxwell coverage. If you got any other questions, again, ask right down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up, and I hope I catch you in the next video. Bye now.